Welcome back to the Raleigh Oaks Baseball Club here on OOTP 25. As you can see, it is June 1st, so that means it's time to go over how the beginning of the season has gone and then do the first-year player draft. As you can see, we are 30-22, 5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. We were just 1 game behind, but as we can see here by our recent schedule, we have gone on a bit of a schneid here. We were popping off a bunch of W's in a row here. You can see sweep of the White Sox, sweep of the Astros, but then we got swept by Minnesota and then dropped a 3-game set to Kansas City, and then we lost the first game of this first set to Toronto so far, heading into the month of June. So, not a great end to the month of May, but overall, it was a solid month. It's been a solid start to the season. Especially with some of the stuff we've had to deal with already. You can see here our offense is pretty damn good. We are scoring the most runs in the National League. We have the most extra base hits, 4th most hits, the highest WAR, the 2nd highest slugging percentage, the most stolen bases still. A lot of our identity is still there, and then we're also hitting more home runs this season, which you'd love to see. Pitching and defense, though, has been a bit of a mixed bag. Our defense has been pretty solid. The zone rating, 2nd in the National League, will take that. But the pitching overall just really hasn't been as good as you would hope. We're striking out a ton of guys, but everything else here isn't really anything too impressive, especially 11th in runs allowed. That is just, I don't even know what's going on, because our staff is like the same guys. It's even improved, I feel like. And we just suck. Something, I don't know, our guys are just not performing, and we're giving up way too many runs right now. I feel like some of the underlying stuff is probably, it's home runs. We're giving up too many home runs is the issue. That's why we're giving up too many runs, because like we only have the 5th WAR, the 4th least hits allowed, 4th in opponent's average, 6th in BABIP, only 7th in base on balls. We have a good defense. It's just we're giving up way too many home runs, and that needs to come down. So if we take a look at this current staff right now, Jake Graham is back from his injury. He's had 3 starts since coming back. You can see has not really, he's actually got a bit unlucky here. You can see bad ERA, but a really, really good fit minus. So he's getting really unlucky for whatever reason. Same thing with Cinquemani, where he's just getting really unlucky. Santiago Mendoza has been solid in the rotation for us this year in 10 starts. Wilson Morales has been good. Ed Osterley has not been great. He's also giving up way too many home runs. A 1.8 home run per 9 is just not good whatsoever. And he has, I guess it's a 50, so I guess it could be whatever. But he's pitched in Colorado, man. Even in Colorado, his home run per 9 wasn't this bad. So, like, what the hell's going on here? And then this is the real shocking one. We managed to get this Korean guy who I was talking about in the offseason through waivers from Tampa Bay. And you can see he has a 65 home run allowed rating. You would think he'd be very good at limiting home runs, especially when you look at his previous numbers. Always sub 1. He comes to us and he's giving up 1.7 per 9. Like, what? He has 65 home runs allowed. Even OSA thinks he has 65 home runs allowed. What are we doing? And then you can see a lot of our bullpen here has home run issues. Carmona, he's been really, really good. He's been one of the guys who's just been absolutely dominant at the back end of our bullpen in a stopper role. Esquivel has been giving up way too many home runs with a 1.5. He has not been good overall. Il-Hwan Kim, another Korean we got off of waivers from Atlanta, who I was looking at in the offseason, he's come in and he's just been dreadful. He has a 2.2 home run per 9 in 12 innings pitched. Eric Lucy, whatever this guy's name is, he has not been good. His home run per 9 hasn't been the worst, but it's still not ideal. Arturo Mendoza, our Rule 5 draft pick, he has not been good, and his home run per 9 is dreadful. Juan Trujillo has not been good in his stopper role. His home run per 9 has been dreadful. Even Juan Nazario, his home run per 9 has been awful. What are we doing? We need to figure out the home run issue. So like Mendoza, we're probably going to stick with him for a bit, but if he can't get this home run in order, like, why can't he limit home runs? He doesn't have a bad he doesn't have a bad HRA. Like, what's the deal? He's a ground ball pitcher and everything. But like Il-Hwan Kim, we're probably going to send him down and send somebody up for him. Bay is somebody who has no options, and like he should be able to limit home runs. So like I don't know, like how it doesn't make any sense to like send this guy down and call somebody else up with a worse home run allowed rating. Like, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to me why we're giving up so many home runs with a lot of these guys' ratings, because it's not like we're playing anybody who has, like, ridiculous home runs allowed per 9 rate, or home runs allowed rating. It just, we don't. Like, everybody's in the green at least. But, you know, enough of that. Move on to the lineup here. Take a look at sorted by WAR. Juan Amancio doing everything that we thought he would be doing as our franchise catcher here. 2.2 WAR with a 171 WRC plus to kick off the season, 7 doubles and 15 home runs here early on in the season, a strikeout percentage of 13, and his BABIP is below 300. So he's doing this with a BABIP that low. Pretty damn impressive. Juan Amancio on pace to have his best season of his career. And hopefully he can achieve that for us, because he is damn good. You take a look at his fielding stats here. Not the best of all time, but good enough to pass. Maybe that has something to do with why our pitching has been down, but like it's the home runs. It's not like we were giving up like it's not like, I don't know. I don't really know, but Amancio, he's our catcher, obviously. Santiago Tapia also has been quite good for us. 144 WRC plus with a 1.7 WAR, 10 doubles, 11 home runs with 12 swiped bags as well. He's been solid. I should also mention, you will not see Luis Griego on this list, and you will not be seeing Luis Griego for a while. He is out for 2 more months with a torn back muscle. He did that like a couple days into the season. You can see he played 11 games, did not get up to the hottest start, and tore a back muscle. So, not ideal. He was not able to improve his durability in the offseason, and now he's hurt long-term here. He'll be back in 2 months. Or probably longer than that, because he has to go on a rehab assignment, but you catch the drift. So back to the lineups here. Nesty Rojas is actually playing right field for us right now, and he's actually been pretty decent. My hope for him is that he can put together a solid season, and then we can trade him in the offseason, because I mean, we just can't. We cannot have this contract on our team long term. We absolutely cannot. So that's the hope for him. Please keep hitting well. Juan Ramirez has been solid. He's actually cooled down a bit. This used to be up more towards where Amancio and Tapia was, but he's still pretty solid here with 13 doubles and 9 home runs and 15 swipe bags. Yaiko Cooperman is currently hurt, injured diagnosis pending. Hopefully that's not anything too serious. Eric Alejar has been solid enough. Will Caffin was solid as the starting shortstop for a bit. Also, I'm just never realizing I never copied over the lineup here. That was just a recent thing, though, so don't worry. It's not like we've been playing like a whole month without this lineup set. So Will Caffin was our starting shortstop for most of the season because Mike Rubin, it turned out that injured diagnosis pending for him was a partially torn labrum, so he missed 5 weeks. He is now back, though. He's up here back in the big leagues. He's played 8 games for us after a 11-game rehab assignment stint in Spartanburg. Edgar Ortega, he's even been mixing in at second base a bunch, and he's actually been pretty decent for us. So we'll take that. Edgar Ortega doing some things off the bench. Pineda has not been great. Rocky Gusty has not been great, and he's complained in an email when I had him hitting 5th. He was like, I'm a cleanup hitter, and you're not giving that to me. So I was like, fine, we'll hit you cleanup. We'll move you up 1 spot, and he has just done nothing with it. So I'm not going to keep hitting you there if you're not going to hit, Rocky Gusty. So figure it out. We paid you to hit, and you're not hitting. Mike Rubin, like I said, just recently came back up. Jesus Sandoval has been dreadful as the backup catcher, and Luis Rodriguez has gotten off to a slow start in left field. What is the deal? You have these ratings. You should be able to rake, and he just doesn't. Figure it out. The other thing that's standing out to me that I'm just now noticing is that Santiago Tapia here has a negative ZR. How does this guy have a negative ZR at second base? Like, he's a 65 second base, he has 65 range. I don't know. I don't know how he's bad at second base. I don't understand how some of these guys just don't perform. I do know that he was one of the guys who got a bunch of minuses in the offseason, so it's just not great. But he has been hitting, so we'll take that for now. Hopefully that can continue to trend upwards. And now it is time to get into the first-year player draft. We have the 35th overall pick here in 2043. Number 1 is the Texas Rangers. Let's just go ahead and see who they are going to take number 1 overall. So, auto draft for Texas. They take Juan Rottweiler Mata, a shortstop from Hawaii. Looks like he could be a pretty decent player. Move things on to our pick, number 35. We actually have a college guy here who's a college catcher who goes to USC from Boise. It looks like he's going to be like a huge swing and miss guy, but he also has BABIP and a ton of power. He's more of a first baseman, not really going to be a catcher. I mean, he's intriguing. He's intriguing, I will admit. We also have a college... This guy's way more intriguing. Way more intriguing. College shortstop who could have some serious power bat and also 70 range. I think that's... I don't even think we're needing to look at anybody else. I think Andy Mills is our guy. I can't even believe something like that is here in the 35th pick. So we're doing that. Boom. Andy Mills is our first round pick. We move things on to round 2. And now it's down to a bunch of high school guys. We have this guy who's, a high school guy with big power. He also has really good personality. He's got the high adaptability, work ethic, and intelligence. Not really a defender, but he looks like he's going to strike out a shit ton. But he looks like he could have some serious pop to his game as a left-handed bat. We also have the 75 potential guy who's probably who we should go with, just because, his bonus demand is pretty hefty. The scout thinks we should go with Steve Czar. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning this guy, even though he is more of a corner outfielder. He's durable. He's got good personality. His bat looks like it could be really good. He is another corner outfielder. We have a billion of those, but you don't draft for need in baseball. At least I don't. Yeah, I think we just have to take the best available. We're taking Steve Zalis here from Paramus Catholic, That's one of those schools that produces a lot of athletes in New Jersey. It's like Paramus Catholic, Don Bosco Prep. Those are two of the big ones in North Jersey. We move things on to round 3, and Freddie Larson is still here, so I'm kind of tempted to go with that. The scout thinks we should take Jimmy Stanley, who's a catcher who can't catch. But I'm kind of tempted to go Larson here just because of the personality class and the power potential. So I think, unless there are... Oh, I'm all batters, too. Oh my god, I've been all batters the whole time. You have to be kidding me. There's a college starter who's not all that. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to take anybody here. There could have been some good starters here that I just didn't even notice because I had it on all batters this whole time like a giant dumbass. So I think we're just going to go back to players here. And we're just going to take Freddie Larson. He's our guy. We're taking him. Boom. Move things on to round 4. And our scout says we should take Jeremy Maedor, who is a starting pitcher. He doesn't really look all that. I don't love the BABIP. I'm not opposed to taking a starter here, though. I think I want to take at least one of these 50 potential starters here. So we know that we don't want Maedor. Galindo, we don't want him. He also has the shit BABIP and poor movement. Galindo had, poor movement. Chris Martin. Yeah, shit BABIP, poor movement. Not a lot of great pitches. He has decent control, but it's not like elite control. And then Scott here. Oh, whoops. Yeah, he's the best guy. He's the best one here. We're taking him. Meet his demand. We move things on to round 5. And now we just go back to all players. Our scout thinks we should take Nelson Ramirez because he is the best available here. I would probably agree. We might as well take the best available guy. Boom. Move things on to round 6 as we're just cruising through these first few rounds. And Scout says we should take Jamie Brewer, a starting pitcher. We are down to where it's mostly 45s here. We do have a couple 50s. Who's the best college player? Chris Martin, this guy was at JUCO? Yeah. Okay, yeah, no. Not interested. What if we go... Or wait a minute. College players. College starters. Are there any... Who's this 45 guy? Julio Castillo. This guy could be like a Chris Bowman type for us in like half a season, I feel like. It's a high floor, low ceiling type pick. If we go for Julio Castillo here. Whereas if we just look at the 45s here, this guy has got a great personality class. He's impossible signee, though. Steve Barrera is not really anything interesting. We already looked at Brewer. Chris Driscoll. I might just be leaning Chris Driscoll just because he has really good personality and he's, like, who knows what could happen with his personality class in all the years it's going to take him to develop. So I think we're just going to do that. We're going to take Chris Driscoll here, move things on to round 7. The impossible signee guy is still there, so is Chris Martin. Scat thinks we should take J.J. Getz, a just terrible first baseman. He's a terrible pitcher, too. Yeah, I mean, what's the point? Why would you ever recommend that guy? Alrighty, we're here at the end of the draft. I believe we left off after taking Driscoll, I believe it was. Yes, we took the first 6 picks here, and then in the 7th round, we took Seiwan Orlowski, a 21-year-old, almost 22-year-old college closer out of Glenville State College. Looked like he was interesting enough, had really good personality, brought him into the organization. Then we took Chris Martin in the, what round was it? In the 8th round. He was that really tall, possible starter who throws a ton of pitches and could maybe be a control guy. Who knows? In round 9, we took Jabari Hearns, high work ethic, corner outfielder with decent arm, power potential. In round 10, we took Kai Eblin, who is a high work ethic, intelligence, decent high school prospect. It was a pretty rough draft towards, like, once you got to, like, round 6, it, like, really fell off. Round 11, we took this American-Filipino catcher, Eric Roberts, just to get a guy with, like, decent framing into the organization. In round 12, we took this high school outfielder who has decent power I, avoid K. Then we took Dave Larson, another decent power I, avoid K potential guy, high school. Then we started dipping into the pitcher pool here. Robbie Drebel, a left-hander from Connecticut, went to Worcester Academy in Worcester, Mass, though. Decent slider-sinker combo here. Looks like he could be pretty decent. Then we took Jesus Barrios. Looks like he could be a decent reliever. Then we took Pat Cox, righty from New Jersey, who went to Marshall. He's whatever. Round 17, we took Jeff Littoral with 75 stuff potential. I mean, at that point in the draft, even with this control and movement, with these pitch potentials and this 75 stuff, I mean, you just have to take that. Then in round 18, same sort of thing, 70 stuff potential, could possibly be somebody. Round 19, another 70 stuff guy. And then in round 20, 60 stuff, 2 decent pitches, fastball, curveball, good personality. And that was our draft class here in 2043.